to show you guys that stuff. It's pretty cool. Just wipe that down real quick. Getting all the dust off and burnishing down any little pieces that didn't quite. Oh, that's so pretty. Don't y'all like that? I love that. Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing today? It's Wendy at Cottage 321. We're going to try to finish up this project today. I hope y'all are having an awesome Friday. We're calling it Friday Fun Day, and we are going to finish up. We started Wednesday. We painted this little galvanized bucket here. I'm going to try to keep the metal away from my microphone because I think it was making it squeal last time. So anyway, this was a silver kind of a glossy bucket that had like some kind of Coke product or something or Pepsi product emblems on it, and so we put a coat of black Noir, our farmhouse paint, on here, and then I went back with Verdant. It's a real pretty funky minty green, and we kind of just blended the two here. You can see the back side. And then we used one of our JRV stencils, Farm Fresh, and we stenciled on there. We had a little bit of bad luck with it bleeding, but I went in with a little painter's brush. I'll show it to you a little bit closer here, and just kind of tried to fix it a little bit, and now it just looks like highlights. I'm going to show you a little bit closer here. It just kind of highlighted it a little bit. It's still a little bit rough to me. It doesn't matter. It looks fine to me. And I might even like sand it a little bit more to make it look more faded. But I kind of like it. So I did a test run this morning of our decor transfer on here, and it's going to work great. So that's one little section here. So what I'm going to do to this bucket now is I'm going to add, I have some leftover from this Imperial Garden. It's a real pretty stencil. It's really big, but I used part of it, if you guys remember, on the suitcase, and I still have some left over. So this morning I went in and I cut out some of the flowers, got my X-Acto knife and scissors out, and I cut out some of the flowers on here, and I'm going to be adding them to the bucket just to give it even a little bit more, little, something, make it cute. So it adhered really well. This is part of it. It came off this little end right here. So what I'm going to do, these decor transfers, I already lightly sanded my bucket. I have found out that you need to lightly sand whatever you're going to do, clean it of all the dust, and then it'll adhere to it a little bit better if you don't sand it. So I know that this right here is going to be kind of coming off. It came off right there. So I'm going to try to start just a little section at a time. I don't want that covering up that, so we're going to maybe, let's see. Anyway, I'm going to play with it here, and you guys are going to be coming along with me for the ride. But basically, you put it on there, you take this backing off. Once you lay it on there, you really can't move it or it'll break that transfer. So I'm going to try to figure out where I want it, and then we're going to go from there. I think this was right here. I'm going to cut this little end off because that broke. I'm going to let it come off about right there. My leaves should kind of fall at the end there. How do I want this to work? I'm trying to figure out where I want the placement at, because so that's there. Do I want that there? So I think I'm going to cut this leaf off because it would cover up part of my stencil, and I can use it somewhere else. So this is something you can do. You can piece your pieces together and overlap them. So I'm going to set that to the side. Try to turn this where you guys can see. I'm going to let it go kind of like that. So I'm going to start on this bottom part first. I'm just going to do a little section at a time instead of pulling the whole thing off. especially since this is rounded. I'll try to get this part on here first. And I'll kind of peel it back as I go. I'm going to put about this leaf. You probably shouldn't do it this way, but I didn't want all of the pattern that was in between. It's like a building kind of behind it. And I cut part of that out because I didn't want all of that on it. There we go. We'll kind of stop about right there. I'm going to burnish this part on. Let y'all see. I just put it on. And now I'm just going to burnish this with my little, I use the Pampered Chef little plastic pot scraper. But it comes with a little wooden paddle. You can use it, but I have had better luck. I don't know where it went. I dropped it somewhere, but I have better luck with this, so that's what I use. But you can use what it comes with in the pack. So you basically just rub this on, and as it starts popping off, it'll turn kind of clear. That'll let you know it's adhered to whatever you're putting it on. And do these stems real quick. I'll start pulling it back, see if it's sticking. So if you pull it back and it's still stuck to the transfer paper, you lay it back down and just burnish it a little bit more. It's starting to work. And once I get this on, I'm going to sand it very lightly to make it look a little more rustic and like it's been hand painted. Yeah. I'll show this to you guys in just a second here once I get this going. I think I'm going to move the table over to this side so y'all can see this a little bit better. So I am just burnishing. You just rub that transfer. You'll see it kind of come clear right there. It means it's sticking. See it coming off there? Y'all see that pretty good? Let me see what y'all are seeing. Yeah. I love this peach color with that green. I think it's kind of cool looking. Y'all see that leaf? Doesn't that look cool? And so I'm going to sand these edges where it's a little bit harsh and it'll look a little more faded out. Y'all see that? Let me show you up close here. Doesn't that look kind of cool? I'm going to cut off this paper because it's kind of getting in my way. So I can see what's going on. Alright, let me try to peel this back the right way. So some of that transfer didn't come off. I'll try to piece it back together. We'll save this rose for a different spot. All right, let's finish burnishing that on. So right there it wasn't quite down, so I've laid it back down to burnish it on. There it goes. Alright, I'm just going to kind of lay that down. Let's see here. So I'm cutting it with my fingernail and just making it go down into that groove. I'm going to rub this a little bit with my fingers just to get all the bubbles out. Use my little cheesecloth here. Just going to rub it, try to, if there's any bubbles, get those out. Looks kind of cool. What do y'all think? little sandpaper. I've got this guy, but this is just for lightly sanding. I'm going to lightly sand all over. You'll see like texture start to come out a little bit. See how the texture started popping out? I'll show you. Okay, so here. Now when I sand, see how it just kind of lightens it up a little bit? Makes it look like old paint. That stuff, it's pretty cool. Just wipe that down real quick. Getting all the dust off. Burnishing down any little pieces that didn't quite, that's so pretty. Don't y'all like that? I love that. Total makeover. I kind of love it. So I need to let that dry. But what do y'all think? So there's the front. This is a stencil, JRV stencil. And then I used our Redesigned by Prima Imperial Garden transfer, just little pieces of it that was left over. Even did the back. Isn't that cool? I think it's so pretty. Just kind of drying it off a little bit. Get a few little pieces that'll peel off, just kind of burnish it down. I think it's gorgeous. So this is a stencil, our Fresh Flower Market stencil from JRV. This is it right here. We used that. I had to go in because, y'all, it did bleed. So I went in and just touched it up, but it actually made it look very highlighted, and I kind of like that. Came back in with this Imperial Rose decor transfer. Very pretty. It's really big, and we've only used just some small pieces. You know, we used this on that suitcase, and so I'm using some leftover pieces on this jug. This jug was pretty ugly, and now I think it's pretty fantastic. So the only thing left for me to do, let it dry for about an hour. We'll come back and lightly sand it one more time, let y'all see all the way around. It's beautiful all the way around. Isn't that cool? I love it. This is Raincoat, and it is a clear waterproof, and it's for exterior outdoor projects, but sometimes I'll use it in interior. Now this guy, the reason I'm putting it on there, I want to protect especially the transfer, but I'm probably either going to use this as an ice bucket, or I may turn it into a planter, and I just think by putting this coat of Raincoat on there, it's going to help protect that finish a little bit. So I use this whenever I'm going to put it outside, or if it's going to be a lot of water involved. So I've even put this on kitchen cabinets before. I put it on my mom and dad's cabinets because my dad is tough on cabinets, so I put a coat of this on there. I hope you like this. Y'all let me know what you think. Give me some feedback on it. I am probably going to be selling this guy, but if I don't keep it from my own house. Love you. Hope you have an awesome weekend. See you later.